Hi, this is David with entry number 579, I believe. Um, could be 578, but I'm not entirely sure. Um, I'm recording in my room tonight. That is tonight. Typically, I record on the street nowadays, but it just so happens that I don't know. My foot got kind of messed up. My foot yesterday, or on Sunday yesterday when I was walking around, and I was wearing the wrong kind of socks with my shoes, and I got a couple blisters, and I just didn't really feel like it was worth the uncomfort today walking around forever. So I just spent a few hours outside and didn't really feel it was appropriate to record where I was. So I just bought some groceries and came back home, and that's about it. So this wasn't too exciting, and it was pretty much in place. I was in places that you've already seen before ad nauseum, so I felt it better just to hold off. And you know, recording in the room is actually where I prefer to record because you don't have street cars and I don't have distractions, and I can really just concentrate on talking. And if you look over there up in that corner, that's my camera that I used to record on all the time when the recordings were better, or like better quality. Right now I'm recording on my phone, on the front camera of my phone, so that's why it's kind of like not as good. Also, the mic isn't as good either, so that's why a lot of these don't sound like they used to. But regardless, I might try and find some kind of setup with that camera to see if I can get it to back to its old quality. Basically, I wanted to talk briefly today about something that I've been looking more and more into, but not really like research or anything, but just kind of like a Korean cultural thing that I wanted to bring up. And that is the idea of like the Korean standard of beauty for both men and women, but I think especially for women, is the idea or the concept of the small face. And they usually do like a fist to represent a small face. And it's something that I'm not really sure how to really quantify because in the US we don't have anything like a small face, like considering a small face as beautiful. We have things like I don't know, symmetry and all that, and to some extent they have that here as well, but to a larger extent it's better to have a smaller face than I guess to have a pretty face. But then again, if you do have a small face, you usually do have a pretty face, so it's kind of a thing like that. I tried asking a few Koreans like what it is to have a small face, and a lot of them just say, oh, it's a small face. They don't really know how to describe it. And if I were to describe people that I have seen that I've been told have small faces, it's basically essentially it's a narrow jawline, small cheekbones, and a small brow. It's not necessarily, I asked them if it's just like your facial features are closer together, and they said it's not that, it's just having a smaller sized face. So that's about it. I don't really know how to describe it, but it is something strange here. That is, I think, a very uniquely Korean, or maybe Korean and Japanese thing, is this idea of the mystical small face. It is quite puzzling to me to think about, kind of thinking that someone is beautiful because they have a small face. It's just strange, I don't get it, and maybe I'm not supposed to get it, but I've never really thought about someone having a small face as someone who's attractive. If anything, having a small face or like mousy features isn't really that good in the U.S. I don't think it's not really seen as like a super attractive thing, but here, like, people go real crazy if you have a small face. I think I've talked about it in other videos before, but they also really like pale skin here. I'm not super dark at the moment. I think my arm is darker than my face at the moment. But if you took that wall as like a reference as white, then I guess yeah, I'm a bit dark. But I'm looking at myself in the camera. But that is another strange one. It's not as strange because there are a lot of like cultural and historical things that kind of make sense about it, but it is weird. Especially coming from a state like California where being tan is really healthy and considered good. But that's all I really wanted to talk about is this strange idea of the small face. Maybe when I find out more, I'll bring it up again. But it is a puzzling aspect of Korean culture, that's for sure. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk with you in a couple days. Bye.